If you're shopping for an SUV that can handle real life, commutes, family duties, weekend trips, and everything in between, the 2026 Toyota RAV4 is still one of the most important names on the list. But this year, the question isn't just, is the RAV4 good? It's, is the new RAV4 the right kind of better? Today, we're doing a full buyer-focused breakdown. Exterior design, interior comfort, technology, practical space, and what it feels like on real roads. By the end, you'll know who the 2026 Toyota RAV4 is for and who should be looking somewhere else. The RAV4 has always won by being useful, dependable, and easy to live with. It's not usually the flashiest SUV in the segment, but it's one of the most trusted. And that's exactly why updates matter. In a world where SUVs are packed with screens, tech packages, and complicated trim levels, the best ones still get the fundamentals right: visibility, comfort, cargo space, road manners, and ownership confidence. So as we go through the 2026 Toyota RAV4, I'm looking at it the way a real buyer should. First, does it look modern and more premium without losing that practical RAV4 personality? Second, does the cabin feel like a genuine step forward in comfort, storage, and day-to-day usability? And third, on the road, does it feel refined and confident, or does it still drive like an older design that's just wearing new styling? If you're upgrading from an older RAV4, coming from a sedan or cross-shopping compact SUVs like the CR-V, Rogue, Sportage, Tucson, or CX-5, this is the kind of review that helps. Not hype, just clarity. Let's start with design, because the RAV4's design has always been one of its strongest selling points. It's bold without being weird, rugged without pretending it's a hardcore off-roader, and it usually looks good in real-world colors, especially when it's clean and sitting in a showroom under bright lighting. With the 2026 Toyota RAV4, what matters is how the front end reads from a distance and up close. You want a clean lighting signature, strong proportions, and body lines that look intentional, not overstyled. In a good showroom shot, you should be able to clearly see the hood shape, the fender lines, and the way reflections move across the paint. That's how you judge whether a design is actually high quality. Move to the side profile, and the RAV4's shape should still communicate utility. A compact SUV needs a good roofline for cargo and rear headroom. It needs doors that look easy to use, a stance that looks stable, and wheel designs that don't look cheap. And if you're looking at this as a daily driver, you also want a shape that offers good outward visibility, especially at intersections and during parking maneuvers. Now the rear matters for two reasons: cargo access and nighttime visibility. Taillights should be clear and modern. The liftgate should look wide and practical, and the overall rear design should feel cohesive, like it belongs to the same vehicle as the front. This is also where you notice details like panel alignment and whether trim pieces look integrated or tacked on. Next, interior, because the RAV4's cabin has to be comfortable, durable, and simple. This is a vehicle people actually live in. You're going to put groceries in it, you're going to carry kids or friends, you're going to drive it in traffic, and you're going to touch the same controls every day. That means the cabin needs smart storage, good seating support, and controls that don't make you fight the car. Start with the driver's seat. A good driving position is one of the biggest quality signals in an SUV. You want a seat that supports your lower back, doesn't feel flat after an hour, and positions you high enough for confidence, but not so high that it feels awkward. Steering wheel shape and button layout matters too. If it feels natural, you'll enjoy the car more. Then look at the dashboard and center stack. The best modern interiors aren't just about bigger screens, they're about cleaner layouts. You want a display that's easy to read and fast to respond, but you also want physical controls where it makes sense. Volume, climate, defrost, things you need without thinking. A smart interior lets you keep your eyes on the road. Material quality is also worth discussing honestly. The RAV4 isn't supposed to feel like a luxury SUV, but it should feel solid and well assembled. Soft touch materials in high contact areas, clean stitching if present, and trim that doesn't look overly shiny or cheap. The goal is an interior that still looks good after years of use, not just one that looks good on day one. Now, cabin space is where the RAV4 typically wins. Front space should feel open with good storage for phones, cups, and everyday items. Rear seat space should be genuinely usable, especially legroom and foot space. And rear seat comfort matters more than people think, because if your passengers are uncomfortable, the car feels smaller than it really is. Cargo space is a major buying point. The liftgate opening should be wide, the cargo floor should be easy to load, and the rear seats should fold down in a way that makes sense. A RAV4 is often bought because it's practical, and practicality is about the details: bag hooks, hidden storage, flat load floors, and how easy it is to use the space. Now let's talk about technology. For 2026, buyers expect a clean infotainment experience, quick response, clear menus, and smartphone integration that works consistently. But a good tech package also includes a good camera system, driver assistance that feels smooth, and alerts that don't annoy you every 5 seconds. A refined SUV should feel calm. If it's constantly beeping, flashing warnings, or forcing you through menu layers, that's not modern, that's frustrating. The best systems are quiet, confident, and supportive. On the road, the 2026 Toyota RAV4 should feel easy. That's one of the core reasons people buy it. The steering should be light enough for city driving, but stable enough at highway speed. The ride should absorb rough pavement without feeling floaty. And when you hit a bump, the car should settle quickly, no extra bouncing. In normal commuting, what you'll notice most is refinement: wind noise, road noise, and how the suspension handles broken pavement. A good RAV4 should feel composed, not sporty, not harsh, just controlled. And in stop-and-go traffic, the throttle should be smooth and predictable. The last thing you want is a car that feels jumpy at low speeds. Highway driving is a big part of real-world ownership. The RAV4 should track straight, feel stable during lane changes, and remain quiet enough that you don't feel tired after an hour. And if the driver assistance systems are active, they should feel smooth, no weird steering corrections, and no overly aggressive braking. Then there's practicality during driving: visibility, mirrors, and how the car feels when you park. A compact SUV should be easy to place on the road and easy to maneuver in tight spaces. If the cameras and sensors are well calibrated, that's a day-to-day quality of life improvement you'll feel immediately. So, should you buy the 2026 Toyota RAV4? Here's the honest way to think about it. If you want a compact SUV that prioritizes reliability, usability, resale strength, and an easy ownership experience, the RAV4 remains one of the safest choices you can make. It's built for everyday reality, and for most people, that matters more than having the flashiest interior or the most aggressive styling. The best buyer for the 2026 Toyota RAV4 is someone who wants a balanced SUV. Comfortable enough for long drives, practical enough for family needs, modern enough in tech to feel current, and refined enough that it doesn't feel like a penalty box on wheels. But if your priority is maximum performance, ultra-luxury materials, or a more sporty driving personality, you may prefer alternatives that focus more on driving dynamics or premium cabin feel. The key is matching the vehicle's strengths to your life. My advice is simple: test it the way you actually live. Put your driving position where you like it. Check rear seat comfort. Load the cargo area mentally with your real use cases, and take it on a route that includes rough pavement and highway speeds. If it feels calm, confident, and easy, that's the RAV4 at its best. And if you want, I can also build a comparison checklist, exactly what to test side by side against rivals, so you can make a smarter decision with less guesswork. But as a practical, daily-ready compact SUV, the 2026 Toyota RAV4 is still a top-tier option for buyers who care about long-term satisfaction.